Hi guys, how are you today? Hope you are doing great. Today I am back with 3 new stories for you. The first one is about entitled parents who are asking OP to buy them a car after they kicked him out of the house when he was 16. Enjoy the stories, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't be shy to leave a comment. When I was 15 years old, I was a complete duck-up, substandard school grades, obese, and I was on my last legs. 2 months before my 16th birthday, my parents told me that I will have to go live with my grandparents since I was basically a failure and a disappointment for them in the family. I had a sister and a brother. They were the smart alecks, and my parents had huge admiration for them. Literally, when I turned 16, I had 2 weeks before I would be booted out the house. My grandparents lived 60 miles away from my parents, and my dad drove me to their place with my suitcase in the car. During that drive, we only talked for a few minutes about my next steps. When we arrived at their place, my dad just said bye, without getting out of the car. My grandparents invited him in for a cup of tea, but he rejected the offer and drove off. 2 weeks later, I joined a local school. Didn't have a GCSE choice and got handed the least liked subjects, like drama. However, I got a spot at engineering as well. After my first lesson, I liked engineering, so much that I decided to sacrifice my free time to learn about engineering. Engineering became my hobby. I had no electronics apart from an old Nokia phone, and my school only had 3 computers in their library. My grandparents couldn't afford to buy me textbooks, and the school didn't let anyone take the textbooks home. They were only supposed to be used during lesson time. So I decided to steal a copy of an engineering textbook. I came to the class, told the teacher I needed to collect my exercise book to do my homework, and while he wasn't looking, I purloined a copy of an engineering textbook. Fast forward a few years, and I finished my GCSEs. I had 7 GCSEs in total, with an A in engineering. I decided to pursue engineering, physics, and design technology in my A-levels. And when I finished my A-levels, I didn't want to go to university, so I looked for some apprenticeships. I found a 4-year apprenticeship at a very enormous company, 12,000 plus employees. After 6 years of working in the same company, I am earning around £170,000 annually. Now, here's the problem. The last time my parents contacted me was when I turned 18. They wished me happy birthday and dropped the phone. I gave them my phone number, but during those years, they never called me. However, yesterday, they phoned me, asking if I can lend them some money because their car broke down, and since my dad works as an Uber driver, he can't work anymore. They asked me for £18,000. I asked them about my siblings, if they can chip in some money. Apparently, my brother and sister are financially broke at the moment. The thing is, handing them that sum of money wouldn't be a financial issue for me. But when they haven't contacted me in almost a decade and kicked me out when I turned 16, I told them I will think about it. I do not know what to do. I don't think OP should give his parents money. They kicked him out because they thought he was a failure and disappointment, and is asking for money now? I think if OP decides to give them money now, they will keep asking all the time. I think OP should be proud of what he achieved. And also, maybe he should consider spoiling his grandparents with the money instead of giving it to his parents. Update. After reading your advice and contemplating, I decided to fund their new car. Here's why. When I will have kids in the future, hopefully, I will want them to have some sort of communication with their grandparents, even if it's online through social media. They currently live 70 miles away from me. The £18,000 for a new car for them won't affect me financially and won't bring any disadvantages, hopefully. In fact, they might communicate with me again. I was the source of stress for them during my teenage years. Yes, they might have overreacted, but I could have done something on my part as well, like try harder in school before they kicked me out, so I could maybe redeem myself. I see this funding of their car the only way to redeem myself right now. I gave them a call this morning, informed them that I will be funding their new car, and they gave me the address, and I will be meeting them today in the evening. The car that they decided to land on is a used Toyota Prius hybrid. They will be buying it from their neighbor for £18,000. Again, I want to thank each one of you for giving me great advice. I honestly don't even know where to start here. I haven't lived at home for the past 4 years of undergrad because I function better when I'm not around my family all the time. I think and function differently from them, which is something I thought was okay and not a source of conflict until this morning. I'm moving in a month for grad school, so I moved back home for the summer to save a bit of money. The entire summer, both of my siblings and my parents have been very nasty, mostly in the way of exclusionary and passive-aggressive behavior towards me, despite minimal confrontation or conflicts occurring. It's been really upsetting, but I've tried to push it aside. I've heard them talking about me behind my back on multiple occasions, and even seen text messages over my sister's shoulder between her and my mom, calling me disgusting and really just trashing me in any way they know how. I am aware that what I did was wrong. I shouldn't have done it, but my dad went to the grocery store and left his phone at our house. Everyone else was sleeping, and morbid curiosity got the best of me, so I opened it. He doesn't have a passcode, and went through he and my mother's texts together. I don't know what exactly I was expecting to find. Perhaps a few sparing texts about me, I don't know. But I was completely shocked to find that the majority of their conversations are about how much they despise me. Like, this is to the point where they purposely plan family lunches, dinners, movie nights, etc. when they know I am working or otherwise busy, and invite me even though they know I can't go, so that it's not obvious they don't want me in attendance. I'm not even worthy of a name in their conversations, as my dad merely refers to me as the B, and my mother follows suit. My mom says things like, "It's so funny how she acts like her life is so great, but she can't be genuinely happy because she is the most miserable B I have ever met." They say I bring down the mood. I walk into the room and I'm a B, etc. There are also several texts where my dad will message my mom complaining about how annoying I'm being, and she will respond saying my sister and brother are also texting her the same thing, and they'll laugh about it. So while I'm in the room with my entire family, they are texting about how insufferable I am. I think the worst thing of all is that my sister outed me to my entire family. I came out to her in December after being closeted for years. And it was a very huge step for me to do this, as my family is not very supportive of the LGBTQ+ community, and I was terrified to tell anyone. I told her I wasn't ready to share this information with anyone, and she turned around and told everyone in my family about it. They are sickened by my lifestyle and have no issues with her mistreating me because she disagrees with my lifestyle. Yes, that is what they're calling it. Growing up, I was always straight-laced, kept my head down, and did what I was supposed to. I am good in school and got involved with community service, volunteering, and excelled in varsity sports. I've also worked since I was 14. I pay for all of my expenses and never ask for a thing from my parents. In college, I had a 4.0, and I got into multiple top PhD programs straight out of grad school. I won multiple prestigious awards in undergrad, whose ceremony both my parents never bothered showing up at. I am the black sheep, and they abuse me for it. I know snooping is wrong, and I'm not sure what I expected to find doing something like this, but damn, this hurts like hell. I've always felt generally ostracized and sort of disliked by my family, but I tried to tell myself that it was just my anxiety going into overdrive and brushed it off. But these were not mere hunches, they are true. I feel sick to my stomach and absolutely numb. And I'm honestly not sure how I should proceed from here. Should I try to bring things up with my family? Should I just bide my time for the next few weeks until I move? I think OP should cut contact with the family. I'm also so sorry for OP. I can't imagine how painful this must be. But OP can make a family out of people who genuinely love and care about her. Friends, their families, mentors, pets, partners. The real family is just a pack of a-holes who are, unfortunately, related to OP and have lost the privilege of being a part of OP's life. Edit. Just going to answer a few of the common questions. Yes, my family is religious. They are Catholic. I am not religious, but keep quiet about this and still bow my head in prayer at supper and participate in everything they would like me to. No, I do not spew my political beliefs to them or anywhere near them. In fact, I hardly talk politics. I do not post my views on social media or engage in political discourse on social media. When my parents are talking politics, I merely listen respectfully and offer no opposition to what they have to say. I pick my battles, and politics, religion, are not battles I prefer to have. Yes, I have friends. No, my relationships outside my immediate family are not negative. I generally get along well with others at work, school, and in social environments. My relationship with my extended family is positive and healthy. No, I am not adopted. A lot of people are confused about how much my family's mistreatment of me ties into my queerness. Here's a bit more context that I definitely think I should have provided earlier. The issues with my sister started after I came out to her. This is definitely something I should have clarified. I'm sorry. Here's the story. I was dating this really awesome girl in December who has been out and proud since middle school. I was falling for her and realized that it wasn't fair to her to have to be dating someone in the closet. So I decided it was time to start taking steps towards being out. I figured baby steps were the way to go, so I started with my sister. My sister and I have told each other a lot of private information in the past, and I thought I could trust her with this. I was initially hesitant to tell her because she has made ignorant homophobic comments in the past and casually uses slurs such as D and sees no issue with it. However, one of my good friends told me that her family was the same way, and when she came out, they realized how horrible their behavior had been, felt awful about it, and apologized profusely. So I figured that if my sister knew about me, maybe she would realize the weight of her unkind words. I told her, and she was definitely surprised, caught off guard by it, and acted a little awkward. But after that, nothing happened, and no mention was made of it. She began just acting a little stiff and awkward around me, which, over the course of several months, has escalated into resentment and bullying. Now, mind you, my parents have been resentful and harsh towards me for the past several years. But my siblings at least usually had my back, and I felt like I had some support with them. But once I came out to my sister, things slowly started to change. In early July, we were at our cousin's house, and I was in the bathroom. The house is small, with thin walls, and I overheard a conversation in which my sister and brother were expressing their disgust towards me because of my S. So I realized at that point that my sister had outed me to my brother and now to my cousin. At this point, I realized that she was really betraying my trust and clearly didn't care much for my privacy and well-being. But I still didn't think she would tell my parents, knowing their thoughts and opinions on gay people. Well, she did. I'm not sure when exactly, but in their text messages, they were excusing her mistreatment of me because they understand that she does not agree with my lifestyle. I, 25 female, no longer want to have a relationship with my mom, 55 female, because of the clear favoritism she shows towards my younger sister, 19 female. Some background. My mom always wanted a big family. I was the firstborn, and she wanted as many more kids as possible. After I was born, she had numerous miscarriages and even a stillbirth. Eventually, her and my dad decided to stop trying and leave it up to God. Well, 5 years later, my mom got pregnant. From the beginning, she was ecstatic. She knew this was her miracle baby, and 9 months later, my sister was born, healthy and perfect. I was excited to be a big sister, and my parents were excited to have another baby. Well, from the beginning, it was clear my mom preferred my younger sister. She constantly referred to her as her miracle baby, angel baby, God's gift, etc., etc. As a kid, I was expected to do chores and help out around the house. My sister was not. Every Sunday starting at 8, I was expected to clean my room. My mom cleans my sister's room to this day. At 15, I was expected to get a job and save money if I wanted a car, to go out with friends, to buy things. My sister was not. When my sister turned 16, my mom bought her a car. She crashed it 3 months later and was so upset about it, my mom bought her another. The longest my sister has held a job is 2 months. My mom gives her money every week. At 14, I was incredibly thin and had been complaining of stomach issues for a while. My mom decided I had an eating disorder and had me committed to an inpatient facility for teens with eating disorders. I was discharged 2 weeks later when the staff realized I did not have an eating disorder and was referred to a GI. Turns out, I had Crohn's disease. At 16, my sister told my mom she had an eating disorder and might need some sort of treatment. My mom sobbed and told her she could never send her away, but I guess it was easy to send me away. Any fights with my sister had my mom taking her side. The most explosive was when I was 17 and my sister was 13. She had taken my favorite sweater without asking and snagged it on something, completely ruining it. I yelled at her and she tried to stab me with a pair of scissors. My mom yelled at me for upsetting her. Some info on my mom. She has never apologized to me for anything. Whenever she has done something that hurts or upsets me, she either finds a way to turn it around on me so I have to apologize to her, or ignores me for a week and then tries to pretend everything is okay. If I bring it up that I'm upset or hurt, she ignores me for another week until I give in and pretend it's fine. Or she makes me feel bad about being upset by telling me only I am in control of my feelings and I need to get a grip. When it comes to my sister, she does everything in her power not to upset her. If my sister is upset with her, she begs for her forgiveness. She lets my sister sell D from the house because when she tried to tell her not to, my sister screamed at her. Obviously, this has been going on for a while. Honestly, I resent my sister, but I know this isn't her fault. I spend as much time with my sister as I can. Buy her things she likes, celebrate achievements, etc. I moved out at 18 when I went away to college, and I've lived on my own since. My relationship with my mom has been fine since I moved out and see her very rarely. Last Friday, she was complaining that I don't spend enough time with my sister. So I invited my sister over that Saturday for a girls' night. My sister brought 2 friends and ignored me the whole night while the 3 of them got drunk and high. The next day, I drove my sister home and told my mom I wasn't going to spend time with my sister if she didn't want to spend time with me. My mom screamed at me and told me I needed to try harder, and I always make my sister feel bad about herself since I have accomplished things and my sister is a late bloomer. I told my mom, in reality, I accomplished things because I was expected to in order to win over her affection and praise. She sees my sister as perfect either way, so she doesn't feel the need to do anything. My mom called me a selfish brat, and I left. My dad has been texting me, telling me to apologize to my mom and sister, but I don't want to. I don't want to continue a relationship with my mom. While I resent my sister, I know this isn't her fault, and I'll still be there for her, but I can't keep doing this with my mom. I'm tired of feeling like the ugly stepchild and having to apologize for having feelings. Am I wrong for cutting my mom off? I don't think OP is wrong. She should do what is best for her. It's a small comfort to say, but OP's mother probably did OP a favor since OP's sister was unable to develop into an independent whole person. OP is strong and capable, and unfortunately, she will have to build her own family. OP's father should see this and advocate for OP, but he apparently doesn't.